Francesa doubling down on what I have felt like for a while. The
Yeah.
dynamic is different. Clearly, Darren Mougey has way more involvement and way more power than he did at this time a year ago. Anyone trying to deny that, including the Jets, you're lying. You're not being honest. We all could see what is clearly happening before our eyes.
Yeah, I think he's definitely taken the hold of the power in the organization. And you don't work for WFAN, so maybe it's good a thing I say this because you have ESPN quite literally on your shirt right there. But I like when I legitimately express I cannot care less what Mike Francesa says about really anything. I do not care, and he does not like the Jets. He never has, so he's always going to have a skewed opinion of the Jets. But I think he's a blowhard. I really couldn't care less. But yeah, I do think that Mougey has the power now, and obviously,
I think his info is correct, whether he hates the Jets or not. Like I don't think Mike just made this up. I think clearly when he said what he said back in March, he heard that from someone, and that is true. That is proven to be true, I believe.
Yeah, but does he have legitimate sources, or is it just like a safe assumption to make? You know what I'm saying? Just because of all the moves and stuff.
If you remember, he said he spoke with someone that it told him like details of how Glenn wanted to do this, Mougey wanted to do this, Mougey won that. It was a whole thing. Like I don't think he's just like getting this out of thin air. I think Mike saying that kind of backs up what many of us have believed based on body language, based on comments, based on just the perception of the two of them, right? And I've had other Jet reporters on who have since acknowledged, they're not attached at the hip. It's no longer, Glenn running the show and Mougey's the sidekick. Darren Mougey's no sidekick.
I was questioning if his source was like, what's that dude's name on Twitter? Always claims to be a scout. Is it Daniel Kelly? Was his source and NFL draft scout or whatever? So I really don't know. But yeah, it seems to be that way. And if you're believing the sources, I tend to believe you on that type of stuff. You have some good insight. So yeah, it seems pretty legit. And obviously at this point, I think everybody would bet that Mougey has more power in that organization, and he's made quite a few good moves. So it'll be interesting to see if Glenn is fired, if Mougey sticks around with him, or if Woody just wants to completely wipe the slate clean. I like the way Mougey's been operating, so I prefer that he sticks around. And I know we can have some qualms with moves made or not made, and some of the late draft picks, but I think people put too much, I'm not gonna say value into late draft. I think the expectations are too high for 5th round picks, 6th round picks. Like there's people out there, oh my God, Francis Mauigoa sucks. He's a 5th round pick. He's a bust. He's a 5th round pick from Miami. And if he's a good special teamer, that's a hit in the 5th round. Like people got to chill on the late round picks and our expectations of them or what they'll be. So I give him a little bit of a pass on that, even though last year, like I didn't necessarily love all the picks he made late, but for the most part, 9 times out of 10, I've liked the moves he's been making, being early on Tibman, Brees, et cetera, Sauce, Garrett Wilson, which is a bargain now. So, I think he should have the power in the organization. I think he deserves it. I would personally keep him after this year, unless all of his moves that he made are just complete washes and they're not good. But even with that being said, then I would be wrong too, because I've evaluated these guys and I like most of the moves he's made. So then I'm kind of going back on my word. So it could be situational, it could be circumstantial. Hey, maybe, I don't like Nashawn Wright necessarily, but it's just the first thing that came to my mind. Maybe Nashawn Wright is a great player. He comes with Aaron Glenn, and Aaron Glenn is a bad coach. So now Nashawn Wright sucks. Brian Flores comes in here next year with KOC, and now he's taking off again. So there's obviously, again, context. It's not black or white with any situation. But yeah, Mougey has he earned what he has, and obviously speaking to Aaron Glenn a little bit too, right? With Aaron Glenn having 3 wins, it would be different. He had 8-9 wins last year. The power structure wouldn't have changed, but historically bad coach, so it'd be hard for him to keep a hold on the power structure, regardless of how good or not Mougey was. But I do give credit to Mougey.
And by the way, like, this to me is a good thing if Mougey has more power. He should. Like, I'm not saying this is a negative. Like, Aaron Glenn was incompetent for basically the entirety of his first year on the job. He's the one who has to prove a lot more than Mougey. Mougey still has to hit on quarterback and maybe coach if he gets the chance. But I trust him far more than I do Aaron Glenn. I'd rather Mougey be the top football decision maker. And the other thing is this. I like organizations where the GM is in charge. Like Aaron Glenn was a first-year coach. Why was he given power like he's Bill Parcells? Because he played for Bill Parcells? Bill Parcells had 2 Super Bowl rings when he started coaching the Jets. Like I never understood Glenn being the ultimate power broker when he had never been a head coach before. He had no pelts on the wall, so to speak, whatever the expression is. Like again, be a good head coach first. Then we could give you more say in personnel.
Yeah, and you nailed it. When he was first hired, it's like you want a guy with experience because this is a monster. It's a monster to take this
I think it's the
organization
toughest
away.
job in the NFL, being the head coach of the Jets right now, because you inherit a 15. Each coach that moves forward inherits the latest playoff job, which is now at 15 years.
Mm-hmm. Which you could say, like, yeah, it's not the same organization. I'm not responsible for that stuff, but it still falls on you. You're still going to get that fan pressure. We're still going to be as impatient as we are. But like, I don't want to give Jets fans a bad rap because we're impatient, but we also cheer for roughing the passer calls. Like we are thirsty for anything. So 7 wins, we'd feel good this year. Maybe not all of us. I know Yo Holmes in the chat wouldn't be good with 7 wins, but like that's the most we've won in 10 years. It's like we are so thirsty. We deserve so much. So yeah, it falls on him. And you said before, like most of the year he was incompetent. And I think you'd probably adjust that. Like, which part of the year was he competent at all? Like, I don't remember one instance where I was like, oh yeah, that's pretty competent from him. I know your word, not trying to be too harsh or whatever.
Or when they beat Dylan Gabriel, or when they beat, Kirk. Their 3 wins were against backup quarterbacks last year.
And it wasn't even a backup quarterback with the Browns. It was straight special teams returns. Like that's the only reason we won that game is because of special teams and Banjo. So they should have even really won that game. Yeah, it was as bad as it could possibly get. Again, I like Rich Kotite, Adam Gase. He was worse than Adam Gase, no doubt. I didn't watch Kotite. Kotite was head coach of the Jets when I was 6, 7, 8 years old, whatever it was. So I clearly wasn't really tracking it like that or really at all. So I can't really speak to him. But Adam Gase was far more competent than Aaron Glenn in certain situations, especially with opening drives. Like at least he impressed me with that. So yeah, he has to work from the doldrums now. Like he was in the pits last year. Don't forget, like last year we were talking about him getting fired at week 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Like the entire season we were begging for him to get fired. At least you and I were. So he has to prove a lot this year. I cannot be lukewarm on him to give him all these assets. He did nothing competent last year. Absolutely nothing, from the media to the in-game stuff to all of it. There was nothing. Even hyping up guys who didn't deserve hype. Michael Clemens, whatever it may be. There was nothing that I could grasp onto last year. Absolutely nothing.
I mean, when he was asked about his first year at the end, like, what are some of the things like you guys did well? And he referenced their field goal protection. Enough said. I mean, he referenced they ran the ball, and he cited a game they were down by 20-something points in the fourth quarter against the Jaguars as an example of when they played their brand of football. Again, we all know how bad it was. No one wants to hear it. He's here. He's the head coach. I hope he proves all of us wrong who have doubts on him. But he's got to prove us wrong or he's gone, because this roster is good enough to be able to properly evaluate whether or not he has any clue of how to be a head coach.
Yeah, exactly. He has a lot to prove. Last year's as bad as it gets. And like you said, like there's no benefit to being negative, especially for us, like with all the negativity over recent years. Now, maybe if we were Ravens fans and like there's been some positivity, maybe there's some pop in views and stuff if we're negative, but we've been negative for so long. It's nothing that we want. Like realistically, we want the Jets to win the Super Bowl, but I would be lying if I just didn't voice my concerns and how bad he was last year. Like I would just be straight up lying. And, there's some people who spin stuff positive because positivity sells, but I'm not that person. I know you're not. I am not that person. I think he sucks. I think we win 6 games. He gets fired. But yeah, I'm hoping for the Super Bowl and we can all celebrate and, we'll go to a parade and all this stuff together and get absolutely obliterated at a Jets parade. My God. I think we have to do a thing if with all the Asmaniacs in a situation when the Jets win the Super Bowl and we go to a parade or a party that everybody puts their phones in one of those bags that comedians put the phones in, have Lou B take care of the phones because there could be no video footage during that parade or that party because my God, I might get in trouble.
The Jake Asman Show is now presented by PrizePicks. PrizePicks is a daily fantasy app made simple. Just pick more or less on your favorite players' projections and build your lineup in seconds. Download the PrizePicks app today. Use code HMA to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. And PrizePicks is already offering NFL futures, including futures for New York Jets players. Take a look at the lineup that you see on the screen. Garrett Wilson, more than 4.5 reception touchdowns. David Bailey, he's going to have at least 7 sacks his rookie year. Arvell Reese, almost a Jet. I think he'll have at least 3 sacks in his rookie year with the Giants. That is a 3-pick power play, $10 to pay out $60. That is just an example of some of the lineups you can make over at PrizePicks. Make your own lineups today for any sport. Just download the PrizePicks app. Use the code HMA and get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Let's say hello right now to Brandon, who starts it off this afternoon. Hello, Brandon.
How's it going, Jake?
What's up, Brandon?
Yeah, so at first I was gonna say Geno should sue, but after hearing, the status of you don't know the status of that girl, since probably not worth it. But the one thing I will say is he should be more cautious of the women he brings in his life.
Yeah, I mean, obviously it's not ideal. I don't know enough about their relationship to offer a strong opinion. But yeah, I mean, Geno Smith should obviously be smart with who he associates with. He's a multi-millionaire starting quarterback in the NFL.
Yeah, and I'm gonna finish it like this. Now that all that's out the way, Geno Smith can focus on bringing us to the promised land. So I'm excited for that.
You think he's going to?
Of course, Aaron Glenn with his superpower playing call with Aaron Glenn's superpowers, for sure. If not, I'm gonna be like I said, I'm gonna call back. I'm gonna be very upset. So let's hope Aaron Glenn doesn't catfish us this time.
Yeah, from your lips to God's ears, Brandon.
Like I just feel like he's the guy that's going to lead us to the promised land.
I had to go to this guy earlier, but there was a connection issue. Today's closer is actually, in fact, Ralphie Rocks, who was there on Saturday. Hello, Ralphie.
Hey, Jake, how are you? Yeah, I had a frozen screen and I had Beast on, and it was a little scary, so I jumped off, came back on.
Watch the replay when you get a chance, because it was quite funny. You realizing, am I on with Beast right now?
Okay. I wanted to let you know that the Brees Hall ball came in. It's really nice. It's got like patch here and
fantastic.
It's nice.
You won a lot, Ralph. You got the Revis jersey behind it, the Sanchez jersey. We love it.
Yeah, definitely. I don't know if my volume is good, but the quality is very good. I got a Curtis Martin mini helmet, and I got the Revis signed jersey. So I got some Hall of Famers in there. So
let's go.
Pretty good. I appreciate it. And it was great, seeing you once again. And what a production that Lou B threw, really,
It was insane, man. I can't believe we had 300 people show up to Atlantic City for a Jet event when the team's been this bad.
Yeah, and I brought my wife, as you know, and she's like, where are they going to put all these people? Then you walk in there, and it's a humongous venue, but he had a great spot for all of us. And to meet some of the people that you see every day, it's pretty cool. And it's a great community. Everybody's friendly. We're all part of the same long-suffering community, fraternity. So
what was your favorite part of the event?
All right. I'll share this story, but I was first going to say Neil is one of a kind. I'm going to have to say that. Like he's 1A. I mean, meeting Amanda was great and Doc Jets fan was great, but Neil is like, if we were a fraternity and you were the president of the fraternity, Neil would be like the sergeant at arms. Like he's a ball buster, yelling at people. He was yelling at Chuck Wagon to get up while he was sleeping. So yeah.
Where was Chuck Wagon sleeping? Because I know you mentioned it yesterday. I didn't even realize he fell asleep.
He was sleeping on the blue cushions that were kind of like the couches that you were standing on. He was probably sleeping like 10 feet from where you were when you were standing.
Wow. He was up for at least the Jet chance that I was around for with Fireman Ed.
He was out kind of early on, probably from like 12:30 to like 1:30.
I mean, the Chuck Wagon's a loose cannon, man. He knows how to get after
it. Yeah. But I'll tell you my favorite story. So, we all had, when you came in, they gave you like a name tag. And so, of course, I put Ralphie on there, which I never go by Ralphie. Like my Peloton name is Ralphie Rocks, and this only because my daughter gave me that nickname during when she was doing her bar mitzvah. I was rapping It Takes Two by Rob Bass, and I kind of got that nickname from doing that. So it's only like a family nickname. So I had this, this tag on that said Ralphie, and one of the people came up, and he was a young kid, maybe in his 20s. And he said, "Are you Ralphie Rocks?" And I said, "Yeah." Yeah. And he said, "I listen to the show to playback every day because I work and there's no internet at work. So I have to listen to the playback of all the day shows." And so he's like, "I've never really been in the chat much. I never called in. I'm from Western Pennsylvania. It took me like 4.5 hours to get here." I didn't catch his name, and because it was loud with all the music going on, the DJ and stuff. And he said, I love your call. I'm like one of your biggest fans. my wife turns to him and goes, "This is ridiculous. How are you somebody's favorite guy?" And I said to him, "Right now, this is my wife. So you're actually my number one fan right now. This is my wife of 32 years. She thinks it's ridiculous that I have a name tag on named Ralphie and I'm hugging people that I never met before. So it's really great. You have a very large swath in your community, you know?
That's amazing. You're a big star, Ralphie. I mean, I'm a big fan of yours. So that's awesome that someone said that they're a fan of your call. So you're a great caller. That's great.
I try to be a little funny. I have a lot of history. I mean, myself and Doc Jets fan, we were talking about basically the Jets in the mid to late 80s, which is sort of like my prime. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm born in the late 60s. So that's like my high school, college years, the Bruce Harper years and Richard Todd and making the playoffs a couple of times. And of course, seeing Richard Todd throw interceptions in both of those games and losing them. But, you know, so it was good. It was good to kind of commiserate with people kind of in my own age group. So I try to give you a little bit of stableness, a little bit of Jets history. I don't go all the way back to Namath. That's my dad's job. And yeah, but it was a great time. I loved it. Now I'm a big event guy. So like I'm signed up for Nashville and I'm signed up for the October meetup. I would love to go to Chef Kev's, who I met him for the first time. Great guy. But we're going to be away. I'll be actually in Venice on the 1st of August.
Oh, nice. That's awesome. So
it's a Venice, Croatia, Greece trip. So that's like the very start of it. So
that's great. Well, you'll be back in time for the season. So we'll see you in Nashville.
I'll be in time, just in time for being optimistic for a couple of weeks. Yeah,
that's right. That's why we got to win week 1. It's a must win. All the Asmaniacs are going to be there.
Yeah, I'll be on major hopium going on.
We all will be.
Yeah. So very good on ESPN today. Liked you.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
No Michael
on
K.
right now. So
I love that. No Michael K.
That's my favorite Don drop.
That's a great drop. It's a great drop.
Well, I appreciate you listening, Ralph. It was great to hang out with you and your lovely wife over the weekend. So I'm glad you had a great time.
It lasted 2 hours. I in the rain.
She was great. She was enjoying herself from what I saw.
Once Wayne Quebec came, she kind of got out of there because she was the best ex-athlete from Hofstra until he got there. So.
That's right. I remember you telling me that your wife played, was it softball?
No, she played softball.
Yeah.
She played softball. I had a kind of, now I didn't go to Hofstra. I met her on a ski trip, but I had to kind of, find the one or two girls on the softball team that might actually even like guys. Not that that's a bad thing, but I found one there. I found an athletic, young woman. And what's funny is we had kids and Hofstra started getting very good in softball and they started sending alumni like this booklet every year. And my wife opened it up probably like in 2000 and we graduated in 89 and she was number 3 on the list for walks in a season. So she was in the top 10 in one of the categories, even like 12 years after she graduated. So I'm the second best athlete in the family, I think. And actually, maybe not, because my daughter has a national silver medal in figure skating from when she was like 13. So I might be relegated down to 3rd or 4th, but that's okay.
I love it. Well, Ralphie, you're the man, and say hi to your family for me, and we'll see you in Nashville. That's going to be great.
You got it.
Hey, here's the deal. Just got no chance unless you click on that like button. And you got to make sure you subscribe to the Jake Asman Show. You don't, you can get the f*** out. Now let's go, Asmaniacs. We're built for this shit.